What is good, YouTube? My name is George. Welcome to the last Monday of February. You guys know what that means. It's a bonus skate focus video. I'm gonna teach you guys 3 tricks in one video. I think all you beginners out there trying to learn your ollie, kickflip, and shove it are really gonna enjoy this video. I have 3 hacks for you, 1 for each trick, and these are the hacks that made me land these tricks back when I was learning them. And these are the type of things that made the tricks click immediately. Some of these tips I've actually never even heard anybody talk about before, so hopefully I'm gonna bring you guys some new insights, help you land your tricks. Let's just get right into it. All right, y'all, first things first, we're gonna talk about the ollie.
What's up? I'm George. I'm gonna teach y'all how to ollie.
The ollie is how you get your board in the air. It is so important. It's one of those tricks that I would just practice over and over and over 500 times a day until I finally got that thing in the air. The #1 hardest part about learning the ollie is not figuring out how to pop, not figuring out how to slide your foot up. The hardest part is learning how to time it all together. It's very tricky to figure out as a beginner. A lot of people, when they're learning the ollies, they're actually able to pop the board and get it facing upwards, but the problem is they can't get their back wheels off the ground. So here is the hack that I use to snap out of this, get my ollies in the air, and I call it the seesaw method. So basically, I was at the point where I could pop the board. The nose was in the air, but that was it, and then it went back down. Sometimes even my nose would be in the air, and my back foot would be up in the air too, off the skateboard, but I could not get the back wheels off the ground. Now here's where the seesaw method came about. What I would do is, when I had that nose up, I would actually then nose dive it down. And literally by pushing the nose down, it actually lifted the back up off of the ground. So I really encourage you guys to try this. Once I did that little seesaw method, I knew how to ollie. It was like, that clicked it in my brain for me. That like unlocked the timing that I needed. And from then on, my ollies just got better and better. And then of course, over time, you don't want to slam that nose down. You want to just leave that nose up in the air and level out your ollie properly, which will come with time. That seesaw technique, get that nose up and then push it down while you're lifting your back foot up. That can get your back wheels in the air. And once you have 4 wheels off the ground, that's the ollie. You can show your friends, show your parents, whatever. It's going to be very exciting. Try this one out. Next hack, let's talk about the shove it. Now the reason that beginners have trouble landing the shove it is because it is very hard to get the board to land directly under from where you jumped. And that is because of some very simple rules of physics. I don't know what they're called. Maybe like inertia or something? Friction? I don't know. Anyways, if you observe what happens with the shove it, those wheels will actually grip on the ground while the board rotates around them. So the axis of rotation is actually those back wheels. Now the proper way to do a shove it is to actually give the board a little bit of a forward shove, because that gets the wheels off the ground and you can actually shove the back wheels to your front foot, and that's how you get the shove it to really stay underneath you. But in terms of the hack, you can just accept that the wheels are going to pivot on the ground and actually just jump backwards with the board. This is a tip I've heard before. It's why a lot of people think the fakie shove it is easier, because you're already rolling that proper direction, and if the wheels pivot, they will go right to your feet where you're gonna land. But say you're trying to figure out the shove it stationary on the carpet. That's what I did. If you just take your eyes and look over behind your back foot and aim to jump there, let the wheels pivot and jump right on top of that thing. It's gonna be a lot easier. And once you figure that out, then you can try to give the board some forward momentum when you scoop it and try to get the board to land where you started. The shove it becomes miles easier when you take this into account. Try it out. This is how I learned it. And then, you know, with all of these things, these are just stepping stones, and then you're gonna get better and better at these tricks. Okay, and now to the trick. I know you guys have been waiting for it. This is how to land your first kickflip. This is the hack that made me land it the next try. I am so serious. I already made a TikTok about this, so if you've already seen it, I apologize. But this is seriously a golden tip, and I've never heard anybody say it before. The most common problem with learning how to kickflip is committing with 2 feet, because it is so scary to watch the board flip under you and jump back on it because you don't know if you're gonna slip out. Personally, I spent about 3 months having a perfectly formed kickflip, but I could only land it with either my back foot or my front foot. I had to take a foot off and put it on the ground, and I was too scared to land it with both feet. So the thing that snapped me out of this, and I was doing this on a carpet in my basement, do whatever you gotta do, is I tried to land with 2 feet upside down. And I'm getting so excited about this because I think nobody realizes that this landing it upside down with 2 feet gives you the feeling of committing to the kickflip. So I mean, literally whatever you have to do, either give it a softer flick, or even if you're comfortable enough, try to catch it upside down and put 2 feet on. You can even try to do it upside down and just get like 1 foot on and then your toes of the other foot. Once I did this, I knew I was gonna land the next one, because after those months of having a well-formed kickflip and just being too scared to commit, I finally had the feeling of jumping up, watching the board, and landing back down with 2 feet. True story, I called my mom down to the basement to watch me, and I landed it within a few tries, my very first kickflip. I will never forget how incredible that was. I ripped my laces for y'all, so drop a like and a sub, and the sun is in my eyeballs. And I really hope that with these tips, I'm able to give you guys that excitement, that confidence to land these basic tricks for the first time, which will be the foundation of skateboarding for the rest of your life. 3 tricks, 3 hacks that help me nail these tricks. I know how hard that mental struggle is where you're new to skateboarding and your body just isn't used to landing these tricks. Whatever you can do to just get your mind and body on the same page to land these tricks, I think it's worth doing. I recommend you try all of these if you're struggling with the ollie, the shove it, or the kickflip. Please let me know how it goes in the comments. If I get even a single person to land their first kickflip, ollie, or shove it, then this video will have been worth it. So let me know in the comments, and if you have any other hacks, please share them down below. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this bonus video. Once you hit that like button, go outside and try these tricks right now, out on the street or the driveway, carpet, grass, whatever you gotta do, now's the time. All right, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.
Oh man, the camera looks good, dude.
Do you guys have any tips, ollie, kickflip, or shove?
My biggest tip for kickflip is keeping your shoulders straight.
I'd say for shove it, like use your front foot to your advantage and use that to catch it and stop it. I can't kickflip. I can't get yeah, I can't even land it on flat.
All right, George, that'll be $50 for that cameo.
Okay.
You already got it.
I'll Venmo you right now.